Hey there, stackers. Today we got a packed Friday roundtable, and honestly, this one goes everywhere in the best way. We're talking about simple ways to take control of your money, what actually works, what's a total waste of time, and where people focus too much energy for way too little payoff. And that's what happens all the time, right? We end up in this, just sphere of nothingness when it comes to money. It takes us 6 hours to save 15 cents. And then we realize that the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. And yet often it's those little tiny things that take us where we want to go. So we're going to dive into big picture stuff like inflation and why the numbers you see might not tell the whole story, some practical strategies so that you can build momentum faster, and even a few things that might sound smart at first, but don't really move the needle when you look closer. Plus, because it's a Friday, we couldn't help ourselves. We're also going to wander into everything lifestyle inflation. And what's most interesting about this is that, well, all of these things, getting away from busy money habits to effective ones, are things that resonate today. And yet, it's a greatest hits episode because this happened originally back in 2017. And it's a greatest hit for two reasons. Number one, we had an anonymous blogger on she had such a great voice. And like a lot of anonymous bloggers in the community, she is now long gone and we totally miss her. She called herself Mrs. Adventure Rich. And also different than most of our Friday roundtables, we only have two participants besides me. It's going to be Mrs. Adventure Rich and Len Penzo. And this smaller conversation, I think, actually makes it a little more dynamic. But as I was going through picking what we were going to end this week with, I wanted something that is all lessons we can use today, and yet from 9 years ago. So next week, we're back with all new episodes. All right, we've got a couple sponsors to help us keep on keeping on. The first one is The Vault. I actually used this last week. I like the protections. I immediately went and took my name off of all of these public sites that sell your information. Not only emails, but the reduction in snail mail that I received right after I did that, incredible. Of course, The Vault does a lot more, but I used it for subscriptions and I found yet another subscription. I had just gone through all my subscriptions, thought that I'd get rid of everything. It turns out that I had yet another subscription that's going to end up saving me about $250 a year. Cha-ching. Keep the subscriptions you value, get rid of the rest. stackingbenjamins.com/vault to check it out. If you're new here, we only have sponsors in two spots in the show, a couple right now and in the middle of the show, and that is it. Thanks for spending Greatest Hits Week with me. We'll see you back here on Monday. Work on Stacking Benjamins all weekend, guys. See you then. I had a breakfast mentoring meeting yesterday with a young woman who was just amazing. She is graduating from college with a degree in wealth management. And she reached out hoping for some pointers. And listen, if somebody's in Texarkana and wants to go into this beautiful field of personal finance and helping people get their money together, that is incredible. But even more incredible is how she reached out, how she was trying to network. And I was having a discussion that finding the right person and avoiding the wrong person for a role, that's what can make or break an organization. And we just don't see that many qualified people. So how do you find them? Well, Indeed sponsored jobs is a boost whenever you need to find quality talent. If you're hiring, Indeed is all you need. You can stop struggling to get your job post even seen on other sites. You'll match with quality candidates with Indeed's sponsored jobs. Get matched with and hire quality candidates who can drive the results you need. Reach candidates who meet your specific criteria like skills, certifications, or location. It drives me crazy when I'm matched with all kinds of people who aren't a fit. I don't have that kind of time. People are finding quality hires on Indeed right now. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed are 95% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all the boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. When you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed sponsored job. And here's what's cool, stackers. You're going to get $75 in sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support Stacking Benjamins by saying you heard about Indeed right here at Stacking Benjamins. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, do it the right way with Indeed. As you hear this, I just got back from keynoting the Millionaire Money Mentors Conference in Florida. I'm sure I had a great time, even though I haven't gone yet as I record this. But I know wherever any Stacking Benjamins people are, it's always a party, isn't it? But what makes it even better party is the fact that when you see pictures of me, those clothes came from Quince. I've been getting intentional lately about what I wear day to day and on stage, and leaning in more into pieces that feel easy, that are comfortable, that I can travel with and still look put together. It just makes getting dressed simpler, whether I'm at home or on the road. Quince has been my go-to. The fabrics feel elevated. The fits are clean. Everything just works without needing to overthink it. Quince has all the wardrobe staples for spring. Think 100% European linen shorts and shirts from $34. Lightweight, breathable, and comfortable, but still look put together. And clean 100% Pima cotton tees with a softness that has to be felt. Their pants also hit that same balance, relaxed and comfortable, but still polished enough to wear pretty much anywhere. Everything's priced 50 to 80% less than what you'd find at similar brands. Quince works directly with ethical factories and cuts out the middlemen, so you're getting premium materials without the markup. Between the pants that feel so incredibly comfortable, and my favorite is still that first cashmere sweater that I got. It is so nice. It's great to feel good because you know that your wardrobe looks good, and it didn't cost anywhere near what I thought clothing that looks like that would cost. It should be the same for you. Refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Head to quince.com/SB. And because you're a stacker, you'll get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/SB for free shipping, 365-day returns. Quince.com/SB.
There are like 30 Ray's pizzas. They all claim to be the original, but the real one's on 11th.
Live from Joe's mom's basement, it's the Stacking Benjamin Show. Hey everyone, I'm Joe's mom's neighbor Doug, and I just put on my yoga pants and Ugg boots. I'm headed out to get a pumpkin spice latte because today is the first day of fall. I'm not kidding around this year, folks. And here to help us celebrate, we're talking with some of the biggest rock stars on the financial interweb machine about easy ways to improve your finances, flip your financial focus, and more. First, we welcome from the Adventure Rich blog, Mrs. Adventure Rich. God, who names their kid that? Jeez, it takes all kinds, doesn't it? And joining us from a bunker somewhere under Los Angeles, the creator of the blog, LenPenzo.com, George Bush. I'm just kidding, it's Len Penzo. Now, here's a guy who loves him some pumpkin spice, Joe Saul-Sehy.
Because when the shoe fits, hey everybody, welcome to Friday on the Stacking Benjamin Show, ending your week in the right way. I am Joe Saul-Sehy, Average Joe Money on Twitter, back here in the basement to help you do a better job with your money. And you know what? We've got a fantastic roundtable today. Mrs. Adventure Rich is going to join us on the show, but let's get on it. All right, let's walk across the basement here and fire up my dad's shortwave, see if we can get some of the greatest minds in financial writing on the line. And if they're not available, then let's just get anybody. No, I'm joking, because of course I'm joking, because we're going to Southern California first, where I think Mr. Len Penzo is waiting for us.
Joe, how are you, my friend?
Dude, you're there. Thank goodness you're there.
Congratulations on your award.
Thank you. Congratulations on your award.
Well, you're yeah, right. But you get all the credit, my friend. It's well-deserved, and it was great meeting up with you out there in Anaheim for dinner, and had a great time.
We did have a great time. For those of you that don't know what Len's talking about, we beat some way bigger talent than us, way bigger talent than us at the Academy of Podcasters Awards. Best Business Podcast went to us over like Tim Ferriss, Planet Money,
awesome.
The Pitch, How I Built This, another NPR show that I like, Jocko, Pat Flynn, Michael Stelzner, and Social Media Marketing World, just Ray Edwards, big shows. So
fantastic, Joe. Feather in your cap, my friend.
Pretty amazing.
Well deserved.
It's all because I know you. Either that or I owe some judge $20 somewhere. I don't know. And guess what, Len? We're going to go to my old neck of the woods, actually north of my old neck of the woods, to the Michigan area, northern Michigan, where Mrs. Adventure Rich from the Adventure Rich blog is going to join us tonight. Are you there?
Hello. How are you, Joe?
Hey, fantastic. How are you?
Doing really well. Living the life up here in northern Michigan.
Well, I'm so glad I got to meet you a couple months ago, and I'm also glad that you could join us today and save this show. Because
I'll give it a try.
So tell everybody about the Adventure Rich blog, because I love what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so Adventure Rich, we cover two kind of separate but intertwined topics, personal finance and adventure. So personal finance will cover our financial philosophy, frugality, and our journey towards financial independence and maybe early retirement.
And you guys,
on the adventure side, we see so many of our friends and family in what we would call the daily grind. And whether you're in debt, whether you're in the accumulation phase, whether you're in college, life doesn't have to be a grind. It's a beautiful adventure. There's so many things you can do right here and now. And so we want to have everyone live a life of adventure.
I love that idea of not waiting until you're old to have the adventure. Like, don't wait till you're Len Penzo's age to start having adventures.
You know what? I'm the old man. Yes, I'm probably twice as old as you, Mrs. AR. So you've got plenty of time.
We don't have to talk numbers here.
Time ahead of you.
Life is not a number, just adventure, Len.
Yeah,
adventure.
And that's the thing. Always an adventure. That's our motto here.
Absolutely. Well, I can already tell this show's going to be an adventure. So let's jump into it. We're going to start off with a piece that I found at clarkhoward.com. This written by Alex Thomas Sadler. 40 things you can do today to take control of your money. And Mrs. AR, we're going to call you to keep it short. Which one of these 40 did you really like? Because there's some cool stuff in here.
Yeah. So first of all, 40, man, that would take all day. But I loved number 4, which was making a savings automatic. This is a huge thing for Mr. Adventure Rich and I. We try to make as much of our savings automatic, not only practically, so we can just not even, think about it. We set it, forget it. We're not tempted by it. But then also kind of psychologically, I love the fact that my paycheck now going into my checking account is smaller than my paycheck 5 years ago when I started my career. And it's all because everything's automatically heading to retirement, to savings, to my HSA, my 401k, everything like that. So I can't touch it. It's great.
I love what she's saying, Len, because it's not about discipline, right? It's about making sure the money just automatically goes where you want it.
Absolutely. And you know what? We're getting there. The old folks that we are, me and the honeybee, it's been a slow process getting automated like that. But yes, and we're getting there, and it does make things so much easier.
But it's funny, Mrs. AR, when I talk to really wealthy people and you talk to them about discipline, they say it's not about discipline. It's about recognizing one time that you made a great move and then replicating that over and over. It seems like that's what you guys are doing.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. I think that was a huge thing, is learning that there was such thing as lifestyle inflation. And if we didn't act now and act accordingly to say, hey, we're going to stop this in some way, the money in the bank it'll look, money in the checking account will look like you have money, but money in a savings or retirement account, it's not as visible. And I love kind of stashing it away and pretending it isn't there and letting it pile up in the background.
Let me ask you about one.
Joe, I want to just remind Mrs. AR one thing. There's another type of inflation that I'm suffering from now, and that's waistline inflation. And that happens as you get older too.
That's what happens when you're always test driving sandwiches and ice cream. Right? That's why you have those taste tests. Oh, I can't wait for the BLT again. You don't have to have 8 of them, Len.
After that episode, my husband came home hungry.
Oh, I bet he did.
I bet I was hungry and I had to talk to him. So I know exactly.
So I'm not going to lie. That night after that episode, we made sandwiches for dinner. We grilled them up and we made sandwiches.
Hey, he didn't get upset at the cheese sandwich, did he?
Oh, no, not at all. My goodness. Our son, he should be made of peanut butter and jelly.
But cheese sandwiches, though, are borderline child abuse. Isn't that what review said, Len?
Yeah.
Well, don't tell anyone then, because I feed them to my son all the time.
Oh, boy. Child Protective Services. Thank goodness you're anonymous, Mrs. AR.
Exactly.
Well, let me ask you something, though, while we're talking about this. So you, like Len, work for the man during the day. And when you get a pay raise, obviously you avoid lifestyle inflation because you save a % of your income into your 401k or whatever plans that you have. But how do you avoid the rest of it going to lifestyle inflation? Do you go in and adjust your savings up? What do you do?
Yes, actually. So the checking account that we have is the last account that gets money from our paycheck. So what happens first is, it goes to some of the retirement accounts, HSA, dependent care FSA, and then it actually gets direct deposited into, once we've maxed all of those out, so we can't do any more, the rest we start to direct deposit into different savings accounts separate from our checking account, different bank. It's an online bank. We use Ally Bank. And so we're saving, whether it's for an emergency fund, whether it's for our next car, which might be 5-10 years off, but we'll throw $50, $100 a paycheck in there to save up so that we can buy a used car when the time comes. Whatever the financial goal is, it could even be a vacation fund, but we try to throw that into the savings accounts. And the last thing that money goes to is that checking account.
What do you do then?
We really keep that low.
Do you have money then go from savings into checking, or do you still have direct deposit from work into checking?
I still have direct deposit into checking, but it's a set number and that number doesn't change.
Gotcha. Oh, Len.
So if I get an increase, the increase goes into the savings accounts.
Beat that, Len Penzo.
Okay, well, that's all good. We do the same thing, Mrs. AR. Another thing I do to prevent lifestyle inflation is we have a strategic plan. I've been doing this for, 20 years. And I plan things to keep myself from getting excited and spending all my money all at once. I have a plan where I've planned out big expenditures 10 years out into the future. And it's kind of like the ultimate big 30,000-foot view of your finances. And when you see that plan laid out like that, of how you're going to spend your money over 10 years, it keeps you from saying, oh, I've got to spend this now. I've got to buy this car now. No, I'm going to buy it 5 years from now because it's in the strategic plan. So it kind of gives you, it kind of keeps you from spending money prematurely. That's another way to help.
That's awesome. Do you then basically chart a roadmap? So kind of say, hey, we have these different milestones and markers with maybe numbers tied to them and work towards those goals?
Yes, I do.
That's a great idea. I really like that.
Here's the scary thing now. I'm getting to the point now where it says dead. I'm at the end of the strategic plan and I see dead. So it's kind of scary.
Here's a bigger thing. Bigger thing, Mrs. AR, is that the honeybee, Mrs. Penzo, has her very own strategic plan, which has nothing to do with Len's strategic plan.
The hidden strategic plan.
Yeah. Guess who's
Hey, Joe, have you seen it? Because I want to see it. You gotta help a guy out here.
It's in that notebook, top secret.
Right. That one. The one that says, don't open this, Len. Ever. Right. Len, which one of these do you like of these 40 things that Clark Howard talks about?
Okay, this one's going to sound lame, and everybody's going to roll their eyes. It's a very small one, but to me, it is really... it's number 16, invest your spare change. And it's amazing how much spare change you can collect in a year. And I think I've given this example once before on your podcast, Joe, the example of my parents. What they do is not really spare change, but I guess it is every time they do a load of clothes, they take a quarter from their change and they put it in their savings jar. And how much money do you think they save? This is just my mom and my dad. They don't have a family. How much do you think they save every year doing loads of clothes?
Oh, I can't imagine. But it's got to be in the hundreds of dollars.
It is. It's $400. $400. Just by saying, hey, every time I do a load of clothes or a dry, I'm going to throw a quarter in the jar. And they save $400, and at the end of the year, they use that for their Christmas gifts or what have you. So they're not investing it, but hey, they're saving it and they're using it for something worthwhile.
So they charge themselves like they're a coin laundry service.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Really interesting.
I like an app called Tip Yourself that we've talked about before on the show, where every time you do something fun, you tip your waiters at the restaurant. Why wouldn't you tip yourself when you do something? So when I go out on a run I'll tip myself a few dollars. So it's almost the same thing, Len, where I look at the money in my checking account and I go, yeah, I could tip myself $5. And so I tip it, and now I've got a bunch of money sitting in a spot for my next vacation that wasn't sitting there before. And you guess how much of the difference I felt in my life? None.
Yeah. Well, you know what, though? It works, right?
Yes. Some of these are dumb. I mean, some of these of the 40 are really dumb. So Mrs. AR, which one of these is a total waste of time?
Len, you may have redeemed it a little bit, but number 16 was actually my total waste of time.
Fail.
And I do have this written down, so you can absolutely check this out, not lying. So here's my thought. And it's actually funny because I'm going to use some of your own arguments against you anyways.
Do you want to come back next week? Wait a minute. Hold on. We got to stop the show for a second. Mrs. AR, do you want to come on every week?
Absolutely.
Just come on and fight with Len every week. That's perfect. Yeah.
All right. So I get the whole invest the change and invest, your pennies and dimes, but I am a big fan of the bigger lifestyle changes and habits. So what I was thinking is, hey, I can go to Panera Bread and I can spend $10.62 on a sandwich, and an app will round it up to 11, save the extra 38 cents. So 38 cents saved, $11 out of my checking account. There you go. Or I can take Len's sandwiches, make it at home, make a turkey and Swiss sandwich for 62 cents, and I've just saved $10 rather than spending 11 to only save 38 cents. So I think that's where I see the bigger habit change, like make the sandwich at home, make the bigger financial decisions like buying a car, buying a house, investing, rather than the small pennies here and there.
Len?
Well, I would just suggest maybe Mrs. AR just needs to get her clothes more dirty.
Do laundry a few more times.
I do like that idea, though, of focusing on the big things. But it seems, Len, to save you a little bit, that's easy enough for them to do, where it really isn't. I mean, it sounds like what Mrs. AR is talking about is mind share. Don't spend any of your mind on that.
Yeah. What Mrs. AR said is I totally agree with Mrs. AR on that. I'm not going to argue that at all. She has a good point too. Hey, and to be fair, I did say it was a small thing. It's just something that I liked, and it was to me it was something that was easy. An easy way to make a few $100, squeeze out a few $100 out of your budget every year.
Well, and that's where I do think you have redeemed it a little bit for me, but
go easy on me, Mrs. A. You're going to make me cry. Don't make me cry on Joe's podcast.
You don't want to have Len cry.
Okay.
When Len cries, the whole thing, it's horrible. Just horrible. Len, which one of these sucks?
Which one did Mrs. AR pick?
She picked yours.
That she liked?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Number four, automatic savings.
Yeah, automatic savings. That's for the birds.
No, I like that one. No, you know what? The one that number 22, the shop at more than one grocery store. You know what? I figured you'd end up spending more money driving around in gas, trying to save a few dimes on a certain product than just getting everything you need at the one grocery store.
Not to mention your own time. Time is valuable, and the running in and out of stores, you're always like, oh, it's a quick run. I'll just run into Walmart. That never happens, right? 45 minutes later, you're out of there.
Right.
Yeah. So you agree, Miss? I picked a good one there, right?
I absolutely agree. That was another good downer on the 40 list.
Virtual high five here. Let's move on to our second piece, guys, which comes to us from Kiplinger. And this is a piece written by Michael Martin, investment advisor representative with Legacy Financial Partners. He says, Len Penzo, that it's time to flip your financial focus. What's he talking about?
Well, he's saying that no matter how much you have in your portfolio or how conservative you're investing it, there's certain things that your advisor needs to be covering with you when you talk about money that people tend to overlook. And he gave 5 of them. The first one is a big one with me, is inflation.
Yeah, let's dive right into that one, because inflation's a big one with me. We talk about on the show fairly often.
Yeah, I think, people will say, like, for example, they'll look at these numbers that you see the calculators, the investment calculators. Well, if I have this much money and I set aside $10,000 a year and I earn 7% a year for 30 years, when I'm 65, I have whatever, $500,000 in the bank. And most people look at that number at today's purchasing power, and you have to remember that that inflation is eroding your purchasing power. That is your loss of purchasing power every year. And so 30 years from now, that $500,000 isn't going to buy what you think it's going to buy if you're associating it with today's purchasing power. So that's something that's very important you have to keep in mind.
Before you go, Mrs. AR, I want to play a little game called Old Guys Reminiscing. Len,
All right, go for it.
Len, when you were a kid and you went down to the corner store and you were getting a Hershey bar or a Kit Kat, what did that cost?
Oh, Hershey bars were 5 cents when I was a kid.
Oh.
I remember I remember 15. I don't remember 5.
Well, I'm a little older than you. Yeah. And I remember when they went to 10. And then I remember when they went to 15. Let me give you one, Joe. The Slurpees. When you went to the 7-Eleven store, how much was the small Slurpee?
I lived way out in the country, so I didn't experience Slurpees until I was in college. So by then it was like $1.
It was a dime for a small Slurpee.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember the when the Big Gulp came around?
There's multiple. There's a big story. Somebody did. I think New York Times or somebody did a story on the Big Gulps. The Big Gulps over the years have increased. Right. Originally it was 36 ounces. Then it went to 44 ounces. Then it went to the Super Big Gulp. Then it went to the Mega Super Big Gulp. And I think you can get like 128 ounce Super Mega Super Big Gulp now if you want.
All I can think of is who's got a bladder that big. That's all.
Well, you use the cup. When you're done, you use the cup.
Is that what you do? It's a double threat.
Yeah.
That's right. That's why you pay extra for the big one. Hey, got to take a quick break from our awesome discussion with Mrs. Adventure Rich and Len Penzo. All right, let's go to our discussion with Mrs. Adventure Rich and Len Penzo from lenpenzo.com. Inflation, what's funny is that you see, Jim Rogers, one of the great investment gurus, says, don't even look at government statistics, Len. And I don't want to talk government. I don't want to talk about politics. But I do want to say that if you believe government statistics about inflation, you're fooling yourself.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. And the reason for that, Joe, is since I think it was like the early 80s, the original consumer price inflation index, the formula has been changed multiple times over the last 20 or 30 years. So it's like changing your ruler. A foot is 12 inches, and then 10 years later they say, oh no, now a foot is 15 inches. And so that makes it even more difficult. And they do that to hide the inflation.
Yeah, I mean, just like breakfast cereals, when they left the price the same, they just made the box smaller. I thought that was awesome. They're like, wow, the price didn't change. Want to see my dogs or my pony? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Mrs. AR, let's go to you for the second one. This is sequence of return risk. And I'm wondering, as somebody who's a younger investor, is this the type of thing that you worry about yet? Do you think about sequence of return risk, or are you like, I'll deal with that later?
It's definitely an I deal with it later type of a thing, especially so we're a big fan in this household of the long game index investing. So, the ups and downs, as long as we still have our jobs or still have funds to be investing, we want to just kind of ride out the market. And so we're not too worried right now if there is a downturn or if there's ups and downs. But as we get closer to whether our retirement date is at a traditional retirement or whether we're retiring a little bit early from traditional employment, I think about 5 years out, that's when we'll start to get a little bit more nervous or a little bit more watchful, I should say, is trying to take a look and see where's our risk tolerance, because right now it's very high. It's primarily we're invested in stocks, but I think that would change if we were coming up closer to our retirement date.
Yeah, Len, speaking of, do you?
I got a few years to go.
Yeah, but this idea of sequence of return risk, I agree with the author here. People don't pay attention to that enough.
Yeah, especially, and as somebody who's at the other end of the spectrum from Mrs. AR, I have to be careful. A downturn now or in the, that lasts right as soon as I'm about to retire really can take a big hit out of my retirement savings. So I have to get very defensive, and I have to, do everything I can to maintain what I have, because I don't have the time. As you get older, you have less time to recover from downturns.
Well, luckily you got defensive 15 years ago, which made you successfully avoided 7 of the last 2 downturns, which is awesome.
Yeah, I've totally missed out. And everybody knows this. I've totally missed out on the last 5 years of mainly of the stock market.
I can't stop pouring salt in that wound. I can't.
No, that's okay, Joe.
Every chance I get. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
I still sleep good. I still sleep well at night.
But for people that don't,
I do look at those returns and go, My God, what have I missed?
But for people that don't know what sequence of return risk is, it's that you have bad returns, and I think people have gotten this just from our discussion. You've bad returns specifically at the worst time, just as you're headed into retirement, the market tanks, and now you're getting more conservative with your money at the same time that you've lost a bunch of money. So you have to watch out for that. The third one on this list that I want to talk about is the 4% rule. I was so surprised, Mrs. AR, to see the 4% rule on here because, I mean, don't you think the 4% rule where you can take 4% out of your investments and rely on that for your whole life, like that's rule of thumb number one we all live by?
That's what I was going to say. I know it's definitely a popular concept in the personal finance world and in especially the FIRE community, so financial independence, retire early. But, honestly, I had never heard of the 4% rule prior to getting involved with, following personal finance blogs. So that's one where, while it seems so second nature to me, I could see where if I hadn't been handed The Millionaire Next Door outside of college, I never would have stumbled upon personal finance. I probably would be oblivious to this rule. So not too surprised that it shows up on a list.
Yeah. Len, how about you? Do you believe the 4% rule should be more like the 3% rule or 3.5% rule?
Yeah, I kind of do, only because people are living longer. And so, and you know me, Joe, and your listeners, I'm just super conservative. So yeah, I think I would go down to at least 3.5%.
Yeah, the last two on this list, by the way, are tax planning and healthcare costs, and those are obviously big ones, but we'll let people read those on their own if they head to our show notes at stackingbenjamins.com. We'll link to it. I want to move to our third piece, which I thought was a ton of fun. This is from a blog called Debts to Riches, Ditch Debt, Find Freedom, and it's letters to my future self, and it says, on my debt-free journey, I've learned that motivation is everything. If we want to see progress, we have to engineer our environment to bump ourselves along to success. Gamify, automate, and habitify. I love that, are my watchwords. Support is a major component of achievement, so surrounding yourself with people who encourage you is a key. That's why I joined the debt-free community on Instagram when I first started getting serious about paying down my $130,000 of student loan debt. Wonder, by the way, Len, what Greg would say about $130,000 in student loan debt. But, yeah. Thank goodness he's not here. Working toward
that's a big number.
Yeah, that is a big number. Working toward a common goal along with hundreds of others brings a sense of community and accomplishment. So what the blogger here is saying, Debts to Riches, at the end is maybe I need to motivate myself and to get myself fired up. Once again, to use Mrs. AR's term, the FIRE, Financial Independence, Retire Early. She sends herself encouraging letters from the past using this cool thing, futureme.org, where you can send an email from now to the future telling yourself to keep it up and giving yourself things to remember that you want to make sure that you don't forget. And I thought this was great. What is something, and we'll go ladies first, Mrs. AR, what would you today send your future self that you got to remember maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
Absolutely. So I think what I would send is I would tell myself to always remember to live some portion of your retirement today. So if I'm always imagining that my retirement is going to be waking up with a cup of coffee and watching the sunrise and reading a book, or going for a run midday, or, watching the sunset with my family, those are great things to look forward to, but nothing is stopping me from doing that today. My husband and I both have full-time jobs. We have a son. We might have an early meeting or a late meeting that would cause me not to be able to do this as often, but I can take steps and live my retirement dream today. So I want to always remind myself of that, and kind of going back to Adventure Rich itself, live a life of adventure.
That's awesome. I love that. Do you think you're going to forget that, though? Do you think at any point you'll forget that?
So the thing is, though, I don't, but then I'll have those days even now, or even a week or so, where, things are crazy, work is busy, the toddler's going through the phase where he doesn't sleep at night, everything like that, right? And so life happens, and there's times where it is a lot harder to remind yourself to just stop for a second, look around, and say, hey, this is pretty good, and if I want to, I can just take a pause and go do something I really enjoy, even if it's just for 5 minutes.
That's fantastic. And it is, you're right, it's easy, especially with kids, to go, all of a sudden it's just gone. And then you realize that it's gone and you're trying to furiously get it back. Len, how about you? Your future self?
Yeah, it's only money. And what I mean by that is what I would tell myself when I was younger. When I was just starting out of college, every dollar was precious to me. It was so precious to me, I was afraid to invest because I was afraid I was going to lose some money. Oh, my stock is down 1% today or 2%. What happens if I wasn't so fearful, I would have invested more earlier and I would have made more money. Again, that cautious nature of me, people, especially 20 somethings, hey, invest, be free. Don't worry about it. Invest and then forget it. Don't follow your, every rise and fall of the market. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to work out. You got your whole life ahead of you. You have plenty of time to recover. Don't be afraid to lose a little money.
I'd tell myself, remember to throw away that tuna fish.
Oh, gosh.
And if you haven't done it yet, it's probably pretty bad by now.
Oh,
no,
my gosh.
I wouldn't tell myself that. I would tell myself, what I tell myself every day right now, which is I feel a lot of fear all the time, and to go ahead and feel the fear, but to live anyway, just keep moving forward, and it's going to be okay. So
yes, it is.
How about that for psychological and kind of deep? That's it. That's all the depth you're going to get on this show because we're going to keep it moving. We'll let our guest go last. Len Penzo, what's happening at lenpenzo.com?
Hey, Joe, a really cool article, 15 things that are better to rent than buy. I think you might be surprised at a few of them.
What? We're gonna, thank you. Moving off that, Mrs. Adventure Rich, thank you very much for joining us. Even though Len Penzo's
absolutely my pleasure.
Even though Len Penzo's disgusting, knowing what I think he's thinking. I wasn't thinking
he was. Look it up on Google. There's a joke there. Tell us before Len keeps going. Tell us what's going on at AdventureRich.com.
Absolutely. So at Adventure Rich, I've been sharing a couple stories and lessons learned from my first year of working full-time remote for a Fortune 40 company. So a couple things there on that, some updates on our personal finance, our net worth. And then I'm also participating in a September savings month where a couple of us bloggers led by the Lady in the Black over at theladyin-the-black.com. I believe that's the URL. I can double check that. But she is having a couple of us do a challenge where if we get a coupon savings or a savings on a discounted price, instead of just taking that and nodding at it, we actually put that into a savings account. So I'll be joining her on that challenge throughout the month of September.
We got to have her on. Do you know her, Len?
No, I don't, Joe.
She's a fiend on Twitter, like just a Twitter fiend. So
awesome.
Yeah, we definitely have to have her on at some point. That's awesome. And we'll link to, obviously, VentureRich.com. Thanks for coming on. Sorry you had to spend almost an hour with us.
It's been my pleasure, and I've had a beer to keep me going.
That's good.
Hey, and this is AR. I still like you, even if you don't like my number 16.
All right. Well, that's good. If I ever come back to Southern California, I'll come say hi, or maybe at FinCon.
Awesome. Thanks for playing, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Special thanks to Mrs. Adventure Rich for joining us today. You'll find her blog at adventurerich.com. Len Penzo appears courtesy of lenpenzo.com. Special thanks also to Dr. Charisse Roth from Ask.vet for joining today. For more information on how they help you take care of your pets, head to Ask.vet. This show was created by Joe Saul-Sehy, produced by Richie Rutter-Reese, and engineered by the amazing Steve Stewart. Kathleen Selmans handles design, newsletter, and classroom opportunities. Online, visit us on Twitter at @SBenjaminsCast or on our Facebook page. Shannon Cowan is our community manager and social media guru. I'm Joe's mom's neighbor, Doug, and I'm pretty much the guy in charge of everything around here. Trust me, this well-oiled machine didn't get like this all by itself. SB Podcasts may receive payment on the show from sponsors and guests in the form of books, giveaway items, discounts, or other remuneration. There's no way you would take advice from these dorks, but like Joe's mom always says, don't take advice from people you don't know. This show is for entertainment purposes only, and before making any financial moves, consult with a real financial advisor.
Okay, I've sat here trying to think of something pleasant to say after that, and I can't.